Hello, welcome to the Trews. All 1 million of you. We've reached 1 million Trews subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to the Trews and watching our True News. We're very grateful to celebrate that. We want to engage in a conversation with you million. What better way to start a chat than talking about pornography?
You wouldn't understand.
Pornography reduces the spectacle of sex to a kind of extracted physical act.
Enlighten me then.
Here's how it was reported in USA Today. Russell Brand stars as anti-porn crusader. Not that long ago you could have probably dropped the anti. But what did you say? JJ Coronet, Russell, go have a wank and chill the fuck out. Ibuprofen 303. What about if the particular porn you watch makes you respect, love and worship women even more? Almost the opposite effect from what we're talking about here. Kind of soft porn that shows women in a very beautiful light. Do you mean literally like a soft focusy light? I don't know Ibuprofen 303. It's almost like by disconnecting the act of sex and putting it into that forum, it's impossible for it to be positive because, well, it's kind of literally a disconnected act, isn't it? Look at what you're watching. Tanya, 8 years. Russell, you're right again. Can you all start your comments with that, please? Russell, you're right again. In fact, can we have a section on the show called Russell, you're right again? Porn is just immediate gratification without a soul. The billboards, commercials, 50 Shades of Grey tell me that I'm wrong for wanting a monogamous relationship. It tells me I'm not beautiful enough because I don't have huge plants, etc.
Implants.
I should simply purchase them in the garden centre, Tanya, 8 years. I watch porn and you never go away thinking, oh, they're so in love. I'm speaking for myself, but I think the majority feels that way. The corporate structure has just found another way of capitalising on what they pretend they're against. Tanya. Yeah. It's also interesting because from a liberal perspective, you sort of think, no, come on, man, free love, free love. That aspect of the 60s, the whole free love thing, I think it got commodified, like most of the individualistic philosophies around freedom and liberty in the 60s. They became commodified. To learn more, watch Century of the South by Adam Curtis. Miller's 388. I wonder what Brand would say about the fact this video is being used for anti-gay marriage proponents. Probably nothing. Yeah, well, my dream was, when we were making that episode of The Trews, that one day it'll be used to bully homosexuals into not getting into loving marriages. And Pagoda, if you think that porn is bad, then don't watch it. It's not as if someone forced you to. It's not as if you wouldn't have to go to a certain website in order to get access to it, wink. Like every industry, the creation of porn would decrease if less people would be watching it, and you're clever enough to realise that. I know, yeah, it is an argument, Anne, but it's not a good argument because I give you the word McDonald's. Now, like, you know that McDonald's has a detrimental environmental effect, a detrimental nutritional effect, a detrimental psychological effect, detrimental effects on labour. All of these effects are detrimental. But if you put the onus on the consumer, we just don't go to McDonald's then. Well, I'm poor and I've not been properly educated, and yet I'm oddly aware of it in this sketch. You know, like, if you put the onus on the consumer, it's a bogus form of power. As I think I articulated in the video, it's not like I know that porn is wrong, but I've got biological drives that meet with external stimulation, and that's the same with McDonald's. So yes, of course, people do have individual free will, but that individual free will is influenced by the flow of information. So the people's opinions align with the ideological space that's cultivated and controlled by people in power. So unless you attack both, people's individuals' interaction with society and their own activity and their own autonomy, plus the ongoing social narrative, you can't have true freedom. I hope that answers your question. And smashes your argument. Hitman Hey, this is why I exclusively watch vintage porn. You know the women were real, and there was some effort put into showing the woman's perspective. Hitman Hey has reached, that's his ideology. Is that porn vintage? Oh no, we made this last week. You monster! Vintage porn. Byron speaks. I love your openness, Russell. I've been trying to abstain from porn for years now, and I've really hit the point where it's become my primary goal, and I'm feeling great about it every day that I'm porn free. Well done. Porn can be used to alleviate stress or fulfill you in some way, but in the end it leaves a bigger hole than the hole you intended to fill. I'm going to leave that because I'm a grown-up. Developing the ability and the discipline to abstain and be in control of your sexuality is vital in pursuit of being the best version of yourself you can be. What a lovely, honest, open letter from a man there, dealing with his own pornography, honestly. I was thinking about this the other day, the way we all tolerate homelessness. Like, we've found a way of making sense of it in our minds so we don't think about it. Because you can't, every time you walk past a homeless person, go, this is disgusting, oh God, come live with me. On some level, we've decided to accept it. And I think it's probably the same with pornography. There probably is a version of voyeurism that's, you know, totally inoffensive. But if you're striving for some kind of spiritual purity, some true relationship with reality that's from the heart, then is part of that gonna be wanking? I mean, when a baby is born, like you meet a baby for the first time, like you're like, oh God, look at it, it's all like a little angel, look at his little hands, his little fingers. One day, it'll be porn for you. It doesn't seem right, does it? And really all that's happened to that baby when it becomes an adult is some of the atoms have changed a bit. Bend over. The real problem is females are not fucking the right people. They go for rich fuckwits who think they are thugs. That's the real problem. Ben, they're not fucking the right people. They go for rich or fuckwits who think they are thugs. Well, I don't know, maybe there's something in what you're saying. Let me try and break it down. It's because there's so much swearing. I'm struggling to get your point. I'll try and convert it. The actual problem is that females are not pursuing sexual relationships with appropriate partners. They go for affluent men or spiritually disengaged men who identify with an overt and aggressive ideal of masculinity. Yeah, you're right, actually, Ben, once I put you through my show-off translator. Ricky Lee Anderson. The softcore porn thing worries me less than this James Bond polarisation of the male role as provider for all good things for women. Suddenly being a self-sufficient male with respect and love in your heart is not enough. Now you have to be a millionaire, suit-wearing, plane-flying, sculpted, money and sex machine, and nothing less to get a conversation from a woman. The same institution that objectifies women objectifies men, because there are no people or genders in capitalism, just consumers. What a fantastic point from Ricky Lee Anderson there. Right, yeah, we men are similarly objectified or oppressed or rebranded by that ideology. You're quite right. I suppose like the feminism angle is the one that dominates because it's the most sort of severe or critical or chronic, but you're right, no one's benefiting from that. Bo Perkins. Thank you, Russell. I'm a Christian pastor in Texas. Obviously, we're going to get on. That stumbled onto a lot of your videos lately and I found them so enlightening, so mind-opening. You're such an encouragement to those of us who can't believe the narrative we're being sold on TV and want the truth. Thank you so much for being truthful. Thank you so much for letting the love energy of the world impact your life. And please, for the love of God and everyone else, keep speaking up. Don't know if you'll ever read this. I am, look. But be encouraged. You're helping instigate the revolution. One person at a time. Bo. Thanks, Bo. I'm glad, because I wouldn't think I'd get on with a Christian pastor from Texas, but that's my own prejudices that I've conjured up, mostly from George Bush or Dallas. Yeah, whether you're a Christian pastor or a Muslim imam or a Jewish rabbi or an atheist, if you want truth and absolute freedom, then that's the defining ideology, regardless of the way we articulate it. Thanks, Bo. Thank you for your 50 Shades of comments. Thank you for 1 million viewers. Thank you for the time you spend watching the Trews instead of being locked in a circle of onanistic self-abuse. Keep subscribing. Get your friends to subscribe. If you can demonstrate that you found 5 subscribers, put it in the comments of the Trews and we'll be in touch with you with this garment, rewarding your loyalty with material objects. Yeah, that's what we stand for. Subscribe here.
Is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the news. If the news was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.